Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the skin spotlight for the Syndra patch. So far we only have 3 skins, and I will be covering them. You will see Astronautalis in the background right now, going through a couple of his idle animations. Now let's go through his taunts and his jokes. And this actually is different, and we will see he actually has a new voice clip for this. Then we also have this, which is the exact same. There is no voice clips whatsoever for this. The dance is not different or any of the sort. So besides that, and when he laughs he gets the really cool little eyes, that's about all we see with Astronautalis. Now as we go to his skill set, let's just walk over here, we will see that his Q has a small change. It has different rocks come off of it while it attaches to a target. As for his root, as you will see in a second, as I basic through another root again, it does have a small particle change. They have a little bit more asteroid-looking rocks. Now we have his W, which is a shield, which causes his visor to come down and rocks to start going and orbiting him. They do actually are on a fixed orbit to his rotation, so if you stay and walk in a circle, they will essentially do the same. We also have his Quake, which has rocks from space come out with it, and we will see that they actually do orbit for a few seconds before they leave. And we also have his ultimate, which I will fire at Aramis, which does yet again have a green glow to it along with the stones. So here's just a quick little overview of all the view of the skills. Now we can go into increasing his texture size. We will see pretty good texture quality on him, good lines, really no actual breaks in his texture. This mode doesn't seem to have any either. And as for his run speed, he looks pretty good when he has increased run speed, so that is definitely something to look at if you're going for a jungle Nautilus. So on to the next. Now we have Pool Party Ziggs, made by a community member. We will see him actually not having any real differences within his taunt, laugh, dance, and they all are pretty much the exact same. We do see a couple particle changes, which are to be expected, and we can see that his floaties are actually actually his arms, and he doesn't have anything different as of that. Now for his passive, we have the exact same bomb, except it has water particles coming off of it. Let me waste a skill so I can get it up quicker. And we will see it again. It has some extra water particles. As for his Q, it does have water particles as it flies. I'll throw it one more time. And it does have a water splashing sound. Now we will see my W. It has a special sound where it actually squeaks. Once it goes, you'll see Ziggs get pushed in the air and actually spray some water out of his mouth. Now, once this comes up a cooldown again, I will showcase it and be able to give you guys a closer look at it as I zoom in the camera. So we will put down the rubber ducky, and we will launch Ziggs away. There we go. Then we also have his explosive Minefield, which puts down little bombs that make a splashing sound when they are hit, and that's that. Then we have his ultimate, which has a smiley face appear on top of the target. Now, as for the textures on Ziggs here, we don't see any real issues with the textures. They actually look quite good. His auto attack animation is good as well, and I don't see any real flaws with it. Now, as for speed, he kind of looks ridiculous, but almost all Yordles do when they're moving fast. And yeah, that's to be expected. So, on to the next. Now we have Sona, who did get quite a change with this skin. We will run through her abilities, which we will hear a bit or a MIDI sound of a guitar riff. Just that is some random sounds that are all yet again MIDI or chiptunes. This is her dance, which is I don't think it has a change. I don't play a lot of Sona, and she actually, when she laughs here, she has pixel sounds instead. So to start off, I'm going to start off with her ripcord of her Q, which does have a particle change, as we do see a change on her basic, along with the actual Q itself. Now, we're going to wait for it to come back off a cooldown. And you can see it does have quite a interesting pixel look to it, as it is flung through the sky, and her ripcord version also is a little bit stronger. As for her shield, her heal, it does shield her and have a little icon in the bottom left corner as well. I will be covering what that particle looks like going to an ally at the end of this one. We also have her speed buff, which I will be covering that going to an ally as well. And then we also have her ultimate, excuse me, and her ultimate is DDR, which I find hilarious. Now her ripcord for her speed buff shows a speed down icon. Now let me real quickly get up another ripcord and use the damage debuff one, and yet again it does show damage going down. Now as for her textures, we are seeing some very good textures, and I don't see any real issues with them, especially on her keyboard. Now if we look when she's walking, she actually does go after the joysticks while she's walking, and this is quite interesting because it is a custom walking animation. Now as for speed, she doesn't really have any, but when she doesn't look that bad, although her animations of walking do go rather quick and look quite hilarious. Now we have the Sona abilities for allies. We will see the particles for the shield and the heal. They are the same as the Q, except when they hit a target, they come up in like a bubbling shape with little pluses as to be healing. Now as for the speed buff, we see arrows going at the targets and swirling pixels upon it actually landing successfully. This does not have any other particle effects besides these swirling pixels, and this does not have any more besides the pluses. So, if you enjoyed the content provided, leave a like. If you want to stay current, subscribe. I'll talk to you all later.